Hey, welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Key. We are live for the Europa League. Fenerbahce against Aston Villa tonight, and lots of ex-Aston Villa Premier League faces in the team tonight. John Duran, Marco Asensio, Fred, Ederson. There's lots of faces, familiar faces, if you're a Premier League fan, in that Fenerbahce side tonight. And this one's going to be a really good game, I actually think. Looking at the two teams, we'll go through the lineups in a minute. But looking at the two teams, I think this one's very, very tough to call. Aston Villa have gone strong. They do still need a win to secure their place in the top 8. They are third in the table. However, it's very, very tight. Same with Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce and Aston Villa probably looking at the top 24. Chances are both of these teams have already made it at least to the next round. But both teams will be desperately trying to get in to that last 8, won't they? Given how tough the season is, how congested the fixture list, it's mega important to these teams more and more with every passing week that if you can cut out 2 fixtures from your hectic schedule, it's a massive win. It's a huge win. So I think Fenerbahce and Aston Villa will both be going big tonight. And that, to be honest, you can see from the lineups that have been put out by both teams, they're both really going for it. Let's look at the lineups, by the way, before we get stuck in. So, for Aston Villa, for the visitors, it is Bezo in goal. Bezo is in goal. I think Martinez has been left at home for this one. I think he might have picked up a knock, but Bezo's in goal. It's Luca Dean, Mings, Lindelof, and Cash at the back. Tielemans and Bohada in midfield. And then it's Morgan Rogers, Buendia, Sancho, and Ollie Watkins. That's your Villa side. On the bench, they have Garcia, Gesand, Hemmings, Gimo, Alaba, Konza, Martson, Onana, Torres, Young, and then the 2 goalkeepers, Wright and Proctor. For Fenerbahce, it is Ederson in goal, ex-Manchester City goalkeeper. Ederson in goal. Semedo, who you might remember from his time at Wolves. Skriniar from his time at PSG, from Inter Milan. Oosterwolde and Mulder complete the back 4. Then it's Fred in midfield, the Manchester United's legend, Fred. Alongside him is Yuksek. Then it's Nene of Mali, who we saw at the AFCON. We was talking about Nene in the AFCON. Nene plays on the right-hand side. Akhter Koglu on the left. And then 2 ex-Villa players lead the attack for Fenerbahce. Asensio and John Duran. John Duran, a player I really, really like. I think, to be honest, I'd have John Duran at Liverpool. I think he's absolutely top quality. And still such a young player, by the way. He's still only 22. He's got 5 goals and assists in 9 games for Fenerbahce since he's come in from Al Nassr on loan. Obviously didn't settle very well in Saudi. So, yeah, John Duran steps in to this Fenerbahce side tonight, who are managed, by the way, by Domenico Tedesco. Domenico Tedesco wants a very promising young manager from his time at Schalke. Italian manager, did very well in the Bundesliga. He is now managing Fenerbahce. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. Let's see how the two teams match up. I can see your predictions already flying in. Quite a few people think Fenerbahce might win this one tonight. Red Rebellion, how's it going? Axel Bradburn, good to see you. MT, Sarah, Brady, how's it going? Good to see you all. I have got our halftime quiz all ready to go, believe it or not. I've got us a halftime quiz ready to go for this one. So, get amongst it. We are 7 minutes away from kickoff. Seven minutes away from kickoff at the what's the stadium called? It's a sponsored stadium, isn't it? It's not the Chobani Stadium. The full name is the Fenerbahce Şükrü Saracoğlu Stadium in Istanbul, but it's called, for sponsorship reasons, the Chobani Stadium. Yeah, going really, really well. Yeah, it's been a good day. It's not been piddling it down, thankfully. I don't know if it is where you are, but it's not been raining. It's been all right. It feels like maybe we're getting towards we're moving very steadily out of the winter and maybe more towards spring months on the horizon. It's starting to maybe not warm up, but warm up enough so that it's not absolutely icy and raining all the time. So yeah, I mean, February is still going to be a bit muggy, but at least it's not freezing. But yeah, Aston Villa currently sit third in the table. We'll be keeping an eye out on all the other Europa League fixtures going on tonight. Bologna against Celtic. Celtic, that's a very big game for Celtic given where they are in the table. 24th, they desperately need a win. So Celtic absolutely have to get a win against Bologna. I think even a point is going to be very, very... I mean, I suppose going into the final group game against Utrecht, Celtic have to be picking up 4 points out of those, don't they? Anything less than 4 points, I don't see Celtic qualifying. I think they'd be going out. So, the good news is that Utrecht, they play Utrecht on the final day. Utrecht are pretty much out already. They're rock bottom. Well, no, 32nd. The 32nd, they've picked up 1 point in 6 games, which is the same as Rangers, funnily enough. Arsenal forever. Evening, Key, how are you? I'm good, mate. How are you? Good to see you. How's things? Just watching a bit of Europa League football tonight. We've got two Europa League games back to back, by the way. Obviously, Fenerbahce against Aston Villa. Straight after this, we're doing Braga against Nottingham Forest. Again, 2 more teams who really do need the win, looking at that Europa League table. Braga are 7th. Again, just teetering on that sort of immediate getting a bye through to the next phase. And Nottingham Forest on 11 points. They're in 11th place as well. So Forest will, again, want to avoid those extra 2 fixtures. It's so important. I can't tell you how, especially when they're focusing on the Premier League and trying to stay up. Forest are going to find it really difficult to add in another 2 European fixtures to that calendar. Andy Vale, how's it going, Andy? Everton Leeds on Monday, isn't it, Andy? Got Everton Leeds Monday night. That's gonna be a good one. But yeah, Bologna v Celtic tonight. Brann against Midtjylland. Feyenoord Sturm Graz. Freiburg versus Maccabi Tel Aviv. Malmo Red Star. PAOK versus Betis. Victoria Plzen against Porto. Young Boys against Lyon. Roma Stuttgart. Braga Forest. Celta Vigo Lille. Zagreb Steaua Bucharest. Ferencváros Panathinaikos. Nice Go Ahead Eagles. Rangers Ludogorets, neither of which, that doesn't really matter, that one. Salzburg Ball and Utrecht Genk. Right. Well, listen, with that said, we are 5 minutes or so away from kickoff. If you haven't yet, by the way, go and get your 30 quid in free bets. Go and get your 30 quid in free bets from midnight. I will show you my bet for this game in just a second. 30 quid in free bets waiting for you. If you want to go and place a tenner then you get 30 quid in free bets. Can't say fairer than that. If you fancy a bet on this game or any of tonight's big Europa League games, if you fancy a dabble, if that's your thing, if you like a gamble, if you don't, that's not your thing, 18 plus, new customers only, all that sort of thing. If it's not your thing, stay away from it. If you like it, if you like a gamble, as I do, to be fair, if you like a flutter on the football, then yeah, get amongst it. There's an offer there for you. Go and jump on it. They're a great bunch of guys, Midnight. And yeah, not only best odds guaranteed, Midnight, but also faster payouts than any other bookies I've worked with. I've got to say, they've not told me to say that, but they have, honestly. Every time I've had other bookmakers, generally it takes you a couple of days to get your cash out if you have a big win. These guys, out within minutes. It feels like a much faster, much smoother experience. But there you go. That's an aside. That's an aside. Here's my bet for tonight. This is my dabble for tonight. Right, where are you? There you go. So I have gone for John Duran and Ollie Watkins to have a shot on target each. Let me know what you're thinking. Is this one well wide of the mark? I have gone John Duran and Ollie Watkins, 1 shot on target each. Draw or Aston Villa. Ederson to make 2 saves. Both teams to score. 4 cards, 9 corners. That's what I'm going for. If we drop that in, 5 gets you 35 quid back, 7-1. Can't say fairer than that. £5 in free bets as well, so it's not even cost me anything. A £5 in free bets, courtesy of Midnight. If you want to go and place your bet, there is still time. Get yourself over there. 30 quid in free bets with Midnight. Go and check them out. And we are literally a couple of minutes away from kickoff. Like I said, we've got our halftime quiz. 2 halftime quizzes, actually. And I've also done the halftime quiz for the Braga versus Nottingham Forest game later on tonight. So I am very prepared tonight. Shell, how's it going? Good to see you. Where's the referee from? Adam says, hey Key, thoughts on the French journalist asking Arne Slot if Xabi called him about taking over? It's very disrespectful, isn't it? Let's be honest. I thought that was very, very disrespectful. Reggie, think that's too many cards and corners, personally. The only reason usually Europa League, they're very, very card heavy. That's why I asked where's this ref from. He's Portuguese. Usually they're very card heavy in the Europa League. Corners that might be the one that lets me down. But yeah, corners and cards. It's always an easy way to generally top it up. But we'll see. Let's keep it involved. We'll see. Andy says, evening Key, good performance from your scrubs yesterday. Cheers, Andy. Yeah, I thought we did okay. Daz, big up Key. Are you doing the same show as last week tomorrow? I am, mate. Yes, I am. So that is for members only. So tomorrow we'll be doing a Premier League preview show for members only. If you want to join, then you know what you need to do. You need to be a member. You'll see it come up tomorrow. If you want to watch it, then you can join the member club and you can see the Premier League preview show, which we'll be doing tomorrow. Shay says, yes, Key. Hope you're good, mate. I'm doing very well. Yeah, good. Really, really good. Thank you. Hope you are too, mate, more importantly. How are you feeling about United Arsenal this weekend, Shay? Or Arsenal United, rather. It's a tough away trip, isn't it? Fred back on English football telly tonight. Fred and Ederson. And John Duran, honestly, I think this is something of an audition for John Duran in many ways, because it wouldn't surprise me at all if there's a few sides, particularly, honestly, I genuinely think Liverpool could pinch him. I'd quite happily take him at Liverpool. Top quality player. Right, are we off and underway? We're good. Right, we're all synced up. Perfect. 3-star evening, everyone, on this Europa League Thursday night. Enjoy the games, United fans. Right, Villa driving forward down the left-hand side with Buendia. Good defending that from Fenerbahçe. Fenerbahçe are second currently in the Turkish Süper Lig. Behind their old rivals Galatasaray. They went out of the Turkish Cup to Besiktas just before Christmas, or was it just before or just after Christmas? I can't remember. Either way, they went out. Oh, Buendia, that was naughty. That was naughty from Buendia. I don't think he meant it, but that was very, very naughty. But yeah, they went crashing out of the Turkish Cup, but other than that, they've won 6 on the spin in all competitions, including beating Galatasaray in the Super Cup as well. So they're certainly improved under Domenico Tedesco recently. I guess maybe Tedesco's got a little bit more confidence in this Fenerbahçe side than Unai Emery does over his Aston Villa side, because again, I'm still reeling from that comment that Unai Emery made at the weekend, saying that he doesn't think that this Aston Villa side are a top 5 side. What do we make of that? Is that fair to say? Is that maybe him being harsh? Is it him testing his players? You know, sort of reverse psychology. If I tell you you're crap, you'll come out and prove me wrong, kind of thing. Reggie Soyuncu on the bench for Fenerbahce as well, Leicester legend. Do you know what? Soyuncu, I'm almost certain, is it the only Turkish player to be named in a Team of the Year? A PFA Team of the Year? I think he is. I think he's the only Turkish player to ever be named in a PFA Team of the Year. He was named at centre-back in a Turkey. That's unreal, isn't it? Frenchman says, evening Key, Spurs fan here. What team do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan. Jay says, hi Key, what are your thoughts on yesterday's match? Thought we played really good. Yeah, I thought Liverpool played really well. Yeah, it was a good performance. Good away performance at a difficult ground. And, yeah, went there and won. Newcastle got beat there not that long ago. That you got to take that in its stride. And, yeah, 3-0. We're pretty much through now into the top 8. We've got Karabag at home. If we can't beat Karabag at home on the final day, then there's not much down for us, let's be honest. Andy says, do you remember the old days? Galatasaray, Olympiacos, Fenerbahce used to be the hardest away days in Europe. Yeah, they were always really intense at the... Because the stadiums were always so, like look at how... tame that away, that home end looks there for Fenerbahce. I don't know if are they empty seats? I think they are empty seats, aren't they? It looks really... It used to be, like, when you went into Galatasaray, and it was like the Ali Sami Yen, and it was, welcome to hell, and there was fire and flames, and it was just really intense. It's not quite like that. And that's not just at Fenerbahce, that is across Turkey. Sassadam, 86 people watching. Hate in your heart will consume you. AFTV has million views. So it's lucky I'm not competing with AFTV then, innit? Sarah, can we smash the likes and subscribe? Cheers, Sarah. Scott says I got 5-1. 5-1. Oh, 5-1 to Villa for 290. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. Don't think that's happening. Here we go. Corner kick to Villa. Is that the first corner of the game? We're very nearly there. Spurs 67. What do you think of Spurs v Dortmund the other day? Good result. Yeah. Does that change things for Thomas Frank for you? Do you think that's... Are you Frank in? Are you Frank out? Where do you stand on it? Still not quite sure. A lot of Villa fans, a lot of Spurs fans at the minute. It feels like still making their mind up on Thomas Frank. Some are very adamantly Thomas Frank out, but it feels like they have been very early. Here's John Duran. Good ball. Cleared away by Luca Dean. And Frank in. Good. Nice. I'm glad, mate. Really, I am. Because, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I haven't really got a horse in the race. I haven't, I have no skin in the game. I don't want Spurs to fail. I don't care if Spurs succeed. So I guess I'm not really pro or against Spurs. They're just another team. But I also do think Thomas Frank is a very good manager, and I would like to see him given time wherever he is. Yeah, I think he is. He will do well for Spurs if he sticks around. If Spurs give him the time. Willsy Woo, Sarah ain't attacking people here. Oh, ain't attracting people here. Don't know what you mean by... What do you mean she's not attracting people here? Come on, the Hoops says, on a permo. Andy says, European teams can't handle the Prem press. English teams doing unreal in Europe the last couple of seasons. I mean, just look at the state of the Champions League top 8. It's crazy, isn't it? Celtic 1-0 in front. Scott Grice, do you think Man City will still qualify for the knockouts in Champions League, mate? Yes, I do, yeah. They'll absolutely qualify. They only need to finish in the top 24. They're already qualified, aren't they? Spurs 67 also, sorry for the questions. Are you live on TikTok? I'm not, mate. No, not alive on TikTok. I'm only on YouTube. Only on YouTube. Plitzen 1, Porto 0, Feyenoord 1, Sturm Graz 0, Bran 0, Midtjylland 1, and Bologna 0, Celtic 1. Yeah, Rio Hatate has put Celtic in front. So, I don't have a clue what he's on about. No, nor do I. Nor do I. Willsy, any sympathy for Sava? Who's Sava? I don't even know who that is. Pete Moran, how's it going, mate? Good to see you, Pete. Did you stop TikTok now? Yes. Yes. Jake, do you think an English team could win the Champions League this year? Of course. Top 8, 6 English teams probably going to finish in them this year. So, yeah, every chance. Certainly every chance. It might even be an all-English final. Andy, assuming Liverpool don't get top 8 and you win your qualifier, who out of the top 8 are you hoping to draw and who do you want to avoid most? Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the top 8 in the Champions League as it stands. All the way back to Bezo there for Villa. So, Champions League as it stands, the league phase. Who would I want? If Liverpool were to somehow drop out, which I don't think does happen, but let's say it did. Durant. Here's Asensio. Oh, gives the ball away. Too easy, that. Villa now on the counter-attack. Yeah, I think it's going to be Liverpool in the top 8, but let's say we don't. I wouldn't want to face PSG. I feel like PSG, again, they're still a very, very good side, and they're a little bit like a wounded animal at the minute. So yeah, I wouldn't want to face PSG. I obviously wouldn't want to face... do you know, there's nobody, honestly, I kind of take the approach of the same thing my dad used to say to me when I was growing up, which is, doesn't matter who in the draw, like, they don't want us. They don't want us. So I can guarantee whoever it is, they do not want Liverpool. So, I don't really care who we get. I think we could do all of them over 2 legs. There's not a side in there that I don't think Liverpool could do over 2 legs. We've already beat Real Madrid. Villa are away here. Here's Ollie Watkins. Go on, Ollie. I needed him to get a shot on target. Surely you've got to hit that. Villa's still in with a chance down the left-hand side. Good ball in. Far post, maybe. Oh, good defending. Great defending. Liam, good evening. How's it going? Spurs, I wouldn't take Liverpool. We are bad against you guys. I would be scared. I just think for me, we've already beat Arsenal this season. We've taken 4 points off Arsenal this season, so over 2 legs they wouldn't scare me. We've beaten Real Madrid, we've beaten Atletico Madrid, we've gone to Paris and won last season, and we only lost on penalties to them, so they've not been terrific this year either. So there's nobody that I look at and think I'm scared of them. There's every single one we could beat. Obviously, there's ones that you'd look at and think, well, yeah, they'd maybe be a slightly easier pick. But there's really no easy draw. There isn't. Over 2 legs, you never know what can happen. Joe, how's it going, mate? On a permo, come on the hoops. Brady says this hate watch of Celtic in the first half before I go to Ibrox is backfiring on me. I've only got time for the first half and they're 1-0 up. Shay, can you win it, do you think? Yeah, absolutely. Of course Liverpool can win it. Of course we can. But then again, I would also say, by that same logic, that, Newcastle can probably win it. I don't think they will, but Newcastle can win it. Bayern could win it. Arsenal could win it. Real Madrid could win it. You can't rule anyone out, really. It's just one of them mad years, I think. Scott Grice, as it stands, we're in the playoffs and we're 11th on 13 points. We need to finish in the top 2 to go through to the knockouts. No, you don't. The knockouts is the top 24, mate. So if you finish in the top 24, City are through. You still have to play you have to play another 2-legged tie more than anyone else, but you're still through. You're through to the knockouts. On a Permo, we need a point and a win against Utrecht. Ilanga actually looked bright. What a win for us last night. It was a good result that for Newcastle. Can't complain. Sir, even Goldbridge reckons Liverpool will win it. I've had a funny feeling about Arsenal all season, I've got to say. I do think Arsenal will go really close to it this year. Yeah. I've said since day dot that I don't think Arsenal win the league, but I think they win the Champions League. I'm hoping I've got those two muddled up. Spurs says, I'm shocked that Spurs are fifth in the table. It's crazy to think people said we would be at the bottom of the league phase. I think people underestimate just how good Spurs are. Spurs are still a very, very tidy side. Some very, very good players. Here's Fenerbahçe down the left-hand side with Asensio. Good run from Asensio. They're in. They're in. Great clearance from Bezo. He had to be very sharp off his line there. He comes out and smashes it away. Aston Villa. Great play that from Asensio. I forgot how quick Asensio was. How rapid is he? He's got a bit of pace about him, hasn't he? He's got a lot of pace. Spurs says, I get that dream that Tottenham could win it. I need to stop thinking that far ahead. And Joe says, I think we could get to the semis, to be honest. You've got every chance. Newcastle have got every chance. I think Spurs have got every chance. Chelsea haven't. But, yeah, there's not a side. I know it's really boring, but realistically, anyone can win it. That's the beauty of the Champions League, is that anyone can win it. Joe, I think we'll do a Villa like last season and get to the quarters. And Andy says Bayern Munich for the Champions League. No, see, I don't rate Bayern at all. I think Harry Kane aside, and obviously Luis Diaz aside, Diaz, Elise, Harry Kane, once you get past that front three, they're actually very, very ordinary. The midfield doesn't do enough for me. The defence is a bit all over the place. They just, yeah, I don't look at it and think, I think they're an absolute top quality side. Andy, I've seen my team Arsenal in great positions before and seen us drop the ball. For me, it's a case of so far, so good. Very true, Andy. I think the thing is with Arsenal is you're your own worst enemy, aren't you? The only team that will stop Arsenal winning maybe everything this year, the only team that will stop Arsenal winning everything is Arsenal. That's it. Nobody else is going to put a spanner in the works other than Arsenal themselves. Reggie says, great results for Arsenal. Can fully rotate against Kairat. Almost a dead tie. Bayern unlikely to catch. And even if they did, the difference between first and second doesn't matter. Both get the bonus. Yeah, and we've seen last year that it ultimately first got a really difficult tie that ended up knocking them out anyway. Scott says, sweet, so Man City only need a draw, or is it a win we need? Even a loss might probably realistically, you could lose your last game and still be in the knockout, Scott. Yeah, Manchester City don't necessarily need anything in the final game against Galatasaray. Like, if you're going to finish in the top 8, you do. You need a win if you're going to finish in the top 8, but even if it's just to get in the playoffs, you're fine. Nobody's going to catch City. Roshan says, is football transitioning from positional marking to man-to-man? No, I disagree. I think it's been very much split for over 20 years. Some teams play zonal, some teams play man-to-man. I remember Rafa Benitez coming in with he brought in kind of zonal marking in the Premier League. He was one of the early sort of pioneers of doing it, and he got loads of stick for it because we conceded loads of goals from set pieces when he first brought it in. And then within about 12 months, we had the best record on set pieces. Sir, we're getting top spot means nothing, like Key said. Look who got Liverpool. And Andy says we get too nervous when the finish line is in sight. But I will say this, it's been decades since Arsenal have a squad this deep. It is true. Yeah, the squad depth is what will win it for Arsenal. It's not even necessarily the first 11. The first 11's also very good. But I think it's the fact that you can call on Eze off your bench. You can call on you can call on Gabby Jesus off your bench. These are options that Liverpool and City don't really have, to be honest. And it's a very, very big thing for Arsenal that you've got that availability. Even if you look at like Ben White on the right hand side, Jurriën Timber, Calafiori, Hincapié, Lewis Skelly. You've got so much options at the full-back positions as well. Whereas you look at Liverpool, we got one injury and we're basically at the point of having to play Calvin Ramsey, who was on loan at bloody Aberdeen last year, and Preston. Couldn't get a kick at Preston last year. Or was it Ross County? I think he was on loan at Ross County last year. Villa strike. It's going to be a corner kick. Ollie Watkins again getting in behind. Good block there from Mert Mulder. Pup says the Arsenal chat has begun. Who had 15 minutes? I don't really know what the answer is though, mate. I don't know what the answer is to that. Because, again, it shouldn't be a chat about them. But it's not me who makes it about them, is it? Shay says Eze made an awful decision to join them. I'd agree with that. Yeah. I don't think he should have gone there. I think he definitely should have either stayed at Palace or gone to Spurs. I think he'd have got regular minutes at Spurs. Oh, off the line! It was a headed goal bound there by Lindelof, I think. And it was a very, very good effort and very nearly snuck in at the far post off the corner. Andy says, if you had to pick a team to win it, who would it be? I know you said anyone can win it, but who would you pick? If I had to pick someone to win it, I don't know. I don't know. Fingers in the draw at a guess. Do you know what? I know I've just kind of slated them, but I'm going to say Bayern. I'm going to say Bayern on the basis that they've got probably the best attack. Good strike from Fenerbahce, and it was an easy strike. Bezo claims it. Andy says that 150 million spent on Isak was not a good move. That should have gone on centre-back Ekatiki's class. You don't need Isak, and his injury record stinks. His injury record? Why? What's up with his injury record? Mate, he's only had a broken leg. What's up with his injury record? Oh, come on, ref. That's a yellow card all day. That has to be a yellow card. Has to be a yellow card, that. Surely it's a yellow. We'll have a yellow for that. Yeah, what's up with Isak's injury record? Isak's not got a bad injury record. Played 40 games a year every year for Newcastle. We did need, and I still think we do need more centre-forwards. We don't, the two that we've got, his injury record at Newcastle was poor. He played 40 games a year every year. What are you on about? His injury record at Newcastle wasn't poor at all. If you play 40 games a season at Newcastle, it's not a bad injury record. How long he was he there? Was it 3-4 years? However long he was there, he averaged about 150, 160 games. No problem, Isak. No issue with him at all. Certainly not like in and out the side, like 20, 25 games a season. That's far more is made out of it. Andy, I think Bayern 2 if I had to pick. And M. Hayes says, do you think there'll be a treble winning team this season? No. No, I don't think so. His leg's not broken, pal. He's faking it so he can get a move to Madrid. Right, Tyrone Mings has just got done for fouling John Duran. I think it was sneaking in far post. It was Ollie Watkins, actually, with the header. No, it was going to go wide. Would have gone wide, but still, a very, very good effort, all the same, from Villa. Fenerbahce knocking it round very well, though. Here's Fred. Roshan to Liverpool lack physicality. We don't win second balls enough. Second balls nearly always isn't down to physicality, in my opinion. Usually second balls is about energy and intensity and reading the game. It's nothing to do with physicality. But do Liverpool lack physicality? Possibly in the midfield area. Possibly. Spurs, why did you miss Konate against Marseille? His dad died. Yeah, his dad died. Here's Duran. His dad sadly passed away. So he went to Paris. I think that's where his family are, or where they're living at the moment. And sadly John Duran. Sadly Ibrahima Konate's father passed away, and that's why he wasn't in the Liverpool side. Andy, on the Champions League, Bayern and Arsenal are the only two with a round team. PSG missed on it. Madrid and Barca can't defend. Inter can't attack. You flip a coin on what performance you get from Liverpool. I get that, but honestly, that's usually... I guess with the Champions League, it's not always the best team in the competition that win it. It's usually the team that just produces in big moments, and there's a lot of teams that, you could put in that bracket. I think Liverpool do. I think Barca do. It wouldn't be a surprise if Barca were to win it. Andy, Ross Barkley still with Villa. Everton were linked yet again to him. And Vostyler, who is Rodgers getting mad at? I don't know. I think he's just throwing a tantrum as per usual. Here's Bo Harder getting told off by the ref. John Duran's having a whinge as well. No change there. Oh yeah, I've just realised the chat's not on screen. Apologies. Yeah, if John Duran was to come to Liverpool or back to the Premier League, like I do. I think there's plenty of teams that... Oh, what a goal that is! Villa are in front, and it's Jadon Sancho. Oh, it's a fabulous ball in. I think it takes a little bit of a deflection, and Sancho with a header 6 yards out. It's 1-0. That's a great goal. Fabulous goal from Aston Villa. They're in front. Jadon Sancho. Really, really good header, this. Had to react late to it as well, because it took a bit of a deflection, and Ederson, ex-Man City keeper Ederson, beaten. Stood still there. And it all came from a Villa long ball. It was pumped into the far corner. First ball, Fenerbahce just can't keep hold of it. It's a lovely little pass inside. The cross comes in, takes a deflection, and Sancho, that's a really good finish. First goal in 5 years for Jadon Sancho. Brilliant. Johnny on the spot. Brilliant. Andy says, to be fair, you can win a Champions League without playing the best teams too. Chelsea did that as an example. You just need the luck of the draw. It's very true. And Roshant's 7 points lead in the Prem is not a decisive lead. It's not a lead you can say they'll definitely win the league. No, that's also true. That's very fair to say. Andy Strand Larsen to Palace, talks have taken place. He's not an appropriate replacement for Mateta, is he? See, that baffles me, that, because we know that Glasner isn't going to be there next year. So why are they trying to... Why are they doing all this now? Why would they... That doesn't make any sense to me. Surely you would want your new manager to pick that player, wouldn't you? 3-star says, a United goal scorer in this season's Europa. Who would have thought it? Ex-Man City player beats ex-Man City goalie. Reggie, Chelsea didn't play good teams in the Champions League. What? I think in the run that they went on, so Chelsea, path to the final for Chelsea was... Who did they play that year? They played Real Madrid. That's easy. Porto in the quarters, though. I think that was the one, wasn't it? Everyone was talking about. They played Porto in the quarters. And in the round of 16, they played Atletico. So, yeah, they got Atleti and Porto. And in the group stage, they had Sevilla, Rennes, and Krasnodar. So, Atleti, Porto, Real Madrid, and then a one-off game against City. that is a somewhat favourable draw. I know they still had to beat Real Madrid, I get it, but Jamie, 5 years to score a goal, and we used to pay him 300k a week for that. La Pulga, do you know what? Mateta to Spurs would be a lovely transfer. Spurs lack that finisher. Guys like Lacroix, Sarr, and Munoz going to leave too now. I don't think Lacroix... How old is Lacroix? That's the only problem. Maxence Lacroix, I think I'd love at Liverpool. I really like him. But I think he's getting on a bit, isn't he? Isn't he like 26? And I don't mean like 26, he's 25. All right, fair enough. He's 26. No, he's 26 in a month or a couple of months. So yeah, he's 26 at the end of this season. That's the point where you either have to be so good that you're like, teams can't turn you down, or so cheap that teams can't turn you down. I think he's right in the middle. I think Palace would ask such a ridiculous fee for Lacroix that it'd put that many teams off. They wouldn't be interested. And you could almost say the same with Munoz as well. Munoz is an unbelievable right back. He's probably top 3 right backs in the league, but he's also 29, and you're not paying 40 million for a right back at 29, are you? Ismail Assar again. I mean, Ismail Assar. How old's Ismail Assar? Feels like he's been around for a while. Ismail Assar's got to be late 20s again. Nearly 28. Yeah, he's 28 in a month, Ismail Assar. So again, I think the ship sailed for him, for Munoz. Lacroix, he would have to maybe kick up a fuss. The only reason that Eze did is because he kicked up a fuss. Wharton, it's going to be a big question mark over what happens with him. Allegedly, there's a gentleman's agreement in place with Wharton. Roshant says Palace will sign Bordalas. I think the thought of that is so depressing as a Liverpool fan. It's an odd choice to replace Glasner, isn't it, that? Casemiro leaving at the end of the season. Probably Saudi to come in for him. And Reggie says, that was a solid Atletico team. They won the league that year. Sorry for my protest. I don't even like Chelsea, but I've never heard this criticism before. I was going to say, I wouldn't have said that they had an easy route to the final necessarily, but it's probably, if you look at it on paper and say Porto, Atletico Madrid, the group stage was very favourable as well. But then again here, Villa, this could be 2. This could be 2. It should be 2. What a tackle that is. Is that Skriniar? That's an absolutely unbelievable tackle. Fenerbahce, last death sort of thing. Jake says, what was City's path to the final when they won it in 2023? That's a good question. What was City's path to the final in 2023? City's path to the final 2023 was... they had Dortmund, Sevilla and Copenhagen in the group stage. Then they played Leipzig, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. That is, I mean, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid's a tough one, and then Inter Milan in the final. You're not getting much easier than that. I think that's objectively tougher than Atletico Madrid, Porto and Real Madrid. Or objectively, yeah. But hey, to each their own. Shay says, I need Villa to win the Europa League so 6th in the Prem gets Champions League. 6th in the Prem won't get Champions League. No, 6th in the Prem won't get Champions League, mate. That's not happening. I don't think England gets 5th anyway. I think it might drop down to 5th if Villa were to win the Europa League, but I can't see us getting the coefficient rating again. I think the coefficient is going to take a bit of a hiding off Palace, Forest, and possibly Villa. We'll see, but certainly Palace and Forest. Palace and Forest, I think, will go out quite early. The way they're playing and the way that Europe is treating them, I think both of them will go out quite early. I also think, in the nicest possible way, Newcastle, Spurs, maybe Chelsea. I don't know. These teams might go out first round. City aren't playing particularly well. I think Liverpool Arsenal will maybe go the distance. But it just depends on the draw, doesn't it? You never know. Reggie, English teams in the Champions League could drag the coefficient up. It could, but it could also if they get a draw against each other. There's every chance that. We don't know. We don't know. But I just feel like because we've got so many extra teams in Europe, they have to do well. Otherwise, the coefficient takes a beating. Andy says 5th gets Champions League. Am I right? No, not necessarily. It depends on the coefficient rating of England and whether or not it is high enough to get a 5th place. Basically, it could be Italy gets a 5th place. It could be Germany. It could be Spain. It could be England who gets a 5th place. But it's certainly not a foregone conclusion. Absolutely not. It might well be that England only has 4 Champions League spots, unless maybe Villa win the Champions League, Europa League, and qualify for it that way. Reggie, the inevitable Arsenal Spurs Champions League final will give us 5 places. Can you imagine? Do you know what? That would be. Do you know what? If you're an Arsenal fan, right? Obviously, Reggie, you can answer this. Would you trade off now? Arsenal win the league, but you lose to Spurs in the Champions League final. What's worse? If you had to choose right now, as an Arsenal fan, Spurs in the Champions League final, you get beat, but you win the league. What would you have? That's the trade-off. Would you do it? Would you take it? I think there's a lot of Arsenal fans who would accept being trophyless again for another season if it meant Spurs won the Champions League against them. They'd hate that. They'd absolutely hate that. Andy, as it stands, yes, 5th gets Champions League, but it depends on how the English clubs do. It's a point system. Italy a 2nd, Germany a 3rd. I think that's purely. I mean, we're still halfway through the season, so you've no idea what it actually means just yet. But as soon as those teams start going out, if the Italian teams, the German teams, the Spanish teams do better, you never know. You couldn't give me anything to convince me to let Spurs beat us in the Champions League final. Oh, you'd never live that down, would you? You'd never live that down. Oh, do you know what? That'd just sweeten things a little bit. That would be fantastic. Imagine that. Arsenal get all the way to the Champions League final only to lose to Thomas Frank's Spurs. Honestly, it wouldn't even matter that they'd won the league. They'd be like, yeah, well, league champions. And everyone would be like, yeah, but you got beat by Spurs. It'd be brilliant. Red card for Celtic. Rio Hatate has been sent off. He was the goal scorer. Rio Hatate has been sent off for Celtic in Bologna. They're down to 10 men. Still a goal up, though. Andy, would I take Spurs winning the Prem and Arsenal the Champions League? Yes. Well, of course. See, the other way around, though. That's mad. Just shows you that's the one you really want, isn't it? The one that you've never won. Fenerbahçe, switch of the ball. Reggie, same question to you. You win the next 5 Premier Leagues back-to-back, but Everton had to beat you in a Champions League final. Next 5? Yeah. Like, if it was like one of them, like, Men in Black things. Like, you can offer me the deal. Let's say you're a genie, and you offer me the deal, and you say, I can guarantee you'll win the next 5 Premier Leagues back-to-back, but 1 year, you get to a Champions League final and Everton beat you. I would say yes. Wipe my memory of it so I can still enjoy the 5 years. So there you go. I don't know anything about that deal, but yeah, I would absolutely take that deal. Absolutely, I would. But I guess for Liverpool, we haven't really got much of an insecurity with the Champions League. We've got a bit of a love story with the Champions League. We've won it loads of times. For Arsenal, you've never won it. So it's like such a big deal. So for Spurs to win the Champions League before Arsenal, beating you in the final, oh, that's the stuff of nightmares. It's literally the stuff of nightmares. Imagine losing to Spurs in a European final. Embarrassing, that. Oh, even United fans are throwing in. Andy says, I have seen Arsenal lift 5 titles, the Europa League equivalent, 9 FA Cups, 2 League Cups. I want that Champions League. Graham says, Key, would you say Liverpool are now the biggest club in the UK? Well, hey, I mean, look, we're certainly the most money, bringing in the most money. We've won the most trophies. We've also, I saw this the other day, we're also, across the entire Premier League, Villa are in, should be 2. What a tackle again. Oh, my God. Unbelievable tackles going in at the back here from Fenerbahce. Yeah, I think we are, in the Premier League of all time, how much money had we made? We're in profit anyway. Across the Premier League, we're in profit. Arsenal are also in profit, but obviously we've won a lot more. Shamner, the 5th place is almost confirmed. The coefficient ratio based on current standing, England's already 14.5 points above the second country, Spain, 17.5 points ahead of Germany in 3rd. But that changes rapidly. This was the case last season, wasn't it? I'm sure middle of last season, it was it looked very clear, but that's because of what everyone's done so far. Obviously, there's a lot of teams in the top 6. But it can all change very quickly if, Real Madrid and Barcelona were to knock out some English sides. If Bayern Munich were to knock a few out. Maybe Bayer Leverkusen make it. Who knows? We never know. I guess it just depends. Andy, biggest by what? Trophies? No. Man United have 39, Liverpool have 38. No, they don't. Man United have not got more trophies than Liverpool, mate. Unless you're counting, Milk Cup and Charity Shields. Absolutely not. Reggie, Chelsea, the biggest team in the UK. Surely they're the world champions. Graham says, biggest revenue streams, best ground, best atmosphere, most trophies. Well, United have got a bigger ground, but it's falling apart, isn't it? Jake says, why would I let Everton win a trophy against us? Because you're getting 5 back. Surely that's the trade-off, Jake, isn't it? You've got to have the 5 Premier League wins. Here we go. Corner to Fenerbahce. Aktakoglu with the ball in. Near post. It's going to be another corner. Celtic, 10 men Celtic have gone 2 in front now. What a result this is going to be. 2-0 for Celtic. Trusty scored. Charity Shield isn't a trophy. Yeah, no. You can't be counting Charity Shields. It's a friendly, isn't it? It's effectively a friendly. Can't be counting them. Celtic, bloody hell. Celtic flying. Who'd have thunk it? Midtjylland 2-1 up against Brann. Feyenoord 1-0 up against Sturm Graz. Betis 0. Sorry, PAOK 0. Betis 0. Plitzen 1. Porto 0. Young Boys 0. Lyon 0. Andy says, no, Man United, we're not talking European trophies or community shields. You said UK, not the biggest English club across Europe. But hang on a minute, we're talking trophies won, mate. Trophies won. You're choosing a very specific way of looking at it. Well, it only counting UK trophies. Are you not talking about the biggest trophies in football then? Champions Leagues and UEFA, they don't count. That's a ridiculous way of looking at it, in my opinion. But hey, to each their own, mate. To each their own. Sarah says, why not, Andy? They are trophies and still major. Well, yeah, listen, if you win a European Cup, winning a European Cup is proof that you are amongst the elite in your in football. And we've won double what Man United have. Here we go. Villa down the left-hand side. Rodgers, great ball. Should be 2-0 Villa. Must be 2-0 Villa. Must be. What are you doing? Oh, you absolute numpty. Strike. Hey, there you go. No, it's going to count. It's going to be offside. It's going to be offside. Morgan Rodgers is screaming. How's it not going to count? What's happening? Why has that got ruled out? Why has that got ruled out? That should be 2-0. That must be 2-0. Morgan Rodgers does really well here. He finds Is it Buendia over on the other side? Or is it Sancho? Sancho does really poorly here. He really should score. Does it hit the ref? Does it hit the ref when it comes back? Oh, what a shame. What a shame. Reggie, I thought they broke up ages ago. Alicia Lehman. Daughter of Jens. Jake, we got 6 Champions Leagues. United have 3, so let's move on from this and just say we're the bigger club. Fenerbahce pressing very well, it must be said. Mings having a bit of a shocker here, and he's give a corner away. Oh my God, has he not give a corner? Yellow card, refs give a yellow here. That's good. More yellow cards. This is what we need. This is what we need. I need these flying in now. Rochant has the new Champions League reduced the strength of the Europa League. Remember in the old Champions League, there used to be third place teams in the group transferred to the Europa League. No, I don't think it has reduced. Well, maybe it's reduced the strength short term, but I think it's increased the overall strength of teams across Europe long term, because what it's done is it's meant that there's more prize money on offer to teams lower down. So the Conference League now is a much more watered down version. The Conference League is nowhere near the same sort of level, but it includes teams who would never have otherwise been in Europe. They would have been out in the qualifiers, wouldn't they? So, you know, the likes of Shelbourne are actually in the major competition. AEK Larnaca beating Crystal Palace. This sort of stuff just wouldn't happen, really, if the whole format from the Champions League down hadn't been changed. Shay, we were unfortunate. Our peak years overlapped with some of the best teams ever. That's very true. That Fenerbahce top is nice, says Graham. I think we've got one. I think I've got one here somewhere. Sure, I've got a Fenerbahce top. I've got an Ollie Watkins shot on target. I need a Duran shot on target. How many saves has Ederson made? Has he made any yet? I'm sure he has he? Europa League. Leon have just scored against Young Boys in Switzerland. 2 shots on target for Villa, so that's going to mean... Yeah, so I need one more Ederson save. Match total cards 4. How many corners we had? 3. Two cards. I need 2 more cards and 6 more corners. Andy says, if you're talking biggest English clubs across Europe, hell yeah, Liverpool are clear, but not in the UK. Man United lead by 1 trophy. No need for Liverpool's hands to feel backed into a corner and get defence. No, it's not about defensive, mate. I think it's just at the end of the day, like, why would you segment it? Why would you segment it? Unless you were trying to create a particular agenda. Like, unless you were trying to create the narrative that Manchester United are bigger, then you would only look at English trophies won in England, which I don't understand why you'd do that. But hey, to each their own, mate. Like I said, if everyone, you know, that's your bag. But I would just say, if you're not trying to create an agenda, if you're just looking at it, who's the most successful team in England by number of trophies? It's Liverpool. Of course it's Liverpool. 3-star, any tips for Braga players for shots on target tonight, Key? I'm going to be doing my Braga bet just before the game tonight. So yeah, if you want to get amongst it, then please do. It's half time here at Villa 1-0 in front in Turkey, in Istanbul. Jadon Sancho with his first goal in 5 years, putting him in front. But yeah, there's plenty of other goals. Let's have a look at the goals going in across Europe tonight. So we've got Celtic 2, Bologna 0. They will be coming up over here in just a second, so you can see the live scores as we're going through. Celtic 2-0 up against Bologna away. Midtjylland 2, Brann 1. Fenerbahce 0, Villa 1. Feyenoord 1, Sturm Graz 0. Freiburg 0, Maccabi Tel Aviv 0. Malmo 0, Red Star 1. PAOK 0, Betis 0. Pluton 1, Porto 0, and Young Boys 0, Lyon 1. There's still obviously the 8 p.m. games to come after this. But what that does to the table is it means that Lyon, Midtjylland, and Villa would be qualified. A win for all of those confirms qualification. They all are in the top 8. If Betis can get one as well, then they're in the top 8 too. Surprisingly, though, it's amazing. I mean, look at Porto. Porto have dropped out now. It's actually surprising to see some of the teams that have really struggled in Europe this year. Nice are bottom of the Europa League, not a single point. Yeah, so Nice are out. Rangers are out. Salzburg are out. Feyenoord probably going to be out. Yeah, it's a lot of very, very good sides who are going to miss out. Right, halftime quiz. Should we do our halftime quiz? Let's get the halftime quiz going. So, this is a bit of a tricky one. But if you can, get your answers in the chat. Name for me the top 10 Turkish players in Premier League history by number of appearances. Pup says, I just want to win. Top 10 Turkish players by Premier League appearances. Get your answers in the chat. Who are they? 1 to 10. Given that it's Aston Villa Fenerbahçe tonight, I thought Turkish players seemed an appropriate one. Soyuncu, there you go. Çağlar Soyuncu is 4th with 98 Premier League appearances. Andy says Man City didn't earn the era either. 2 seasons of unbelievable decisions to help them win titles. The only dominating side that earned it was Liverpool of the 70s. Chimey says Tuncay. Yep, Tuncay, 127 Premier League appearances. Özil and Gundogan. Yeah, Özil and Gundogan not quite going to count. No, sadly they're naturalised Germans. Enes Ünal. Yes, Enes Ünal is correct, as is Kadioglu. Enes Ünal is 8th with 42. Kadioglu 9th with 27. Tugay is 2nd with 233. So you've not got 1st. You've not got 5th, 6th, 7th or 10th. You've currently got Tuncay, Tugay, Soyuncu, Enes Ünal and Kadioglu. Hakan Şükür is a very good answer, but it's not right. No, just outside the top 10. Emre Can, again, German. Turkish origins, but very German. Muzzy is number 1. Muzzy Izzet, former Leicester City player, 248 Premier League appearances. Andy, I think there was one of them that played for Newcastle. Can't remember his name. There's definitely one who plays for Newcastle. You've got a Newcastle, a Villa, an Everton, and a Sheffield United. Not Mitroglou. No, Mitroglou was Greek. Kabak never played long enough. No, he only had about 5 games for us, I think, Kabak. Emre Can is German, sir. Yeah, I'll give you the Newcastle one because it is effectively a similar name. It's Emre Belözoğlu. It was just Emre. Emre at Newcastle. So Emre is 6th with 58 Premier League appearances. He did play briefly for Inter Milan as well. Not Kerim Fry, no. Wasn't he Swiss as well? Kazim Richards is correct, Reggie. Yeah, Colin Kazim Richards. Used to play for Fenerbahçe as well, funnily enough. So you've got Kazim Richards, Kadioglu, Ünal, Emre, Soyuncu, Tuncay, Tugay and Izzet. 2 more left to get. One who played for Villa and Tosun. Yes, Cenk Tosun. Played for Everton and Palace, 55 Premier League appearances. Only one left to get. Only one left to get. And he was a centre-back for Aston Villa who was famous actually for having a fight in a Turkey against England game. Not Altintop, no. Not Altintop. No, centre-back. Played for Aston Villa. I think he played for Galatasaray as well. And he was famous. Famous for having a fight in the tunnel in the England game. Ozan Alpay. Yeah, Alpay is correct. Number 5. 58 Premier League appearances. Alpay. So there's your top 10 Turks in Premier League history. Colin Kazim Richards was number 10, 27 appearances. 9, Kadioglu, current Brighton fullback, 27 appearances also. 8, Enes Ünal, Bournemouth centre-forward. Number 7, Everton centre-forward, Cenk Tosun. Number 6 is Emre with 58 appearances. Number 5, Alpay, 58 appearances. Number 4, Soyuncu, 98 appearances. Number 3, Tuncay Sanli. What a player he was, by the way. Played for Stoke and he was just a wonderful player, Tuncay. Number 2 was Tugay, played for Blackburn, arrived in the Premier League very, very late, but just a wonderful player. 233 appearances, and it feels like most of them were made after he was about 39. And then number 1 is Muzzy Izzet. Muzzy Izzet, who played for Leicester pretty much all of his career in England, I think, didn't he? La Pulga, where is Kerim Fry in the list, Key? Kerim Fry is... I'll tell you, 1 second. So, after the top 10, you've got 11. Kerim Fry. There you go. So Kazim Richards got 27 appearances. Kerim Fry was 11th with 23. After that, it's Jem Karachan, who played for Reading very briefly. Number 13 is Ozan Kabak. He played for 20 appearances for Liverpool and Norwich. 14, Oke Yokushlu, who played for West Brom. Altay Bayindir, who has made 10 appearances for Man United. And then you're getting into the really... Yeah, Yunus Konak, who played for Brentford, he's got 10 appearances. Cengiz Under, who played for Leicester. Hakan Şükür, who played for Blackburn. Hakan Unşal, who also played for Blackburn. Nuri Şahin, who played for Liverpool. They're your top 20. And Nuri Şahin literally made 7 appearances in the Prem. And he just about sneaks into the top 20. So there you go. They're your top 20 Turks. Cengiz Under, yeah. Roshan Dar, Liverpool signing Van der Ven. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I like him a lot, but I don't think we sign him. What do you think? Do you think he's the right signing for Liverpool? Again, and how much would Spurs even want him? Sorry, how much would Spurs even want for him, rather? How much are you charging? If you're Spurs and Van der Ven maybe says to you that he's interested in a move to Liverpool. Put it this way, Van der Ven we do know is a massive Liverpool fan. He is a massive Liverpool fan. Could happen. Possibly. But I don't know. I just feel like the price would be prohibitive. It would be far too much. Nuri Şahin was a baller. He was great at Dortmund. The move to Real Madrid ruined it for him, and he never quite recovered when he came to Liverpool. He was poor for us. Yeah, I was going to say, don't forget, by the way, if you've not already, can you please do 2 things for me? Hit the like button on this video, and second of all, don't forget to subscribe. We're live straight after this for Sporting Braga against Nottingham Forest. That one is maybe a more important one than this one in terms of qualification for both teams. Both teams kind of teetering on the edge of the automatic qualification spots. So... yeah, Forest, especially given where they are in the Premier League and how badly their league form is going, maybe Europe can be a respite for them. Maybe it'd be interesting to see exactly what team Sean Dyche puts out for that one. Does he not necessarily throw the towel in, but almost, you know what, maybe Europe is going to be like an extra thing for us and we might just kind of put it on the back burner? Or does he see it as an escape from the Premier League, and maybe let's just go and have fun in Europe. Let's go and play some teams and really go at it. Let's go and have a go at them, because it's an extra thing. Like, no one expected Forest to be in Europe, so we've got in. Let's go and have fun. Let's enjoy it. For the few games that we've got, let's go and enjoy it. It'll be interesting to see whether he chooses to conserve energy or uses it maybe to build momentum. That's the two things that I'm sure Dyche will be wrestling with, rather. Andy says Van der Ven is going to Barca. Apparently, they've had talks to put a package together in the summer. And Roshant, no, I want a centre-back like Ronald Araujo in Barcelona. Reggie, would you want Van der Ven? Can't stay fit. A centre-back who relies heavily on mobility and recovery sprint, who has hamstring problems, isn't going to age well either. And Tottenham slapped a £100 million price tag on. Yeah, but when you put it like that, and then the £100 million price tag doesn't look particularly appealing, does it? So, no, I agree. Listen, he doesn't strike me as a Liverpool signing, but for the right price, if Spurs were playing ball, then maybe. But he's not one that immediately stands out to me, and I think, oh yeah, Van der Ven, I think if he was if he was able to stay fit, then it's a no-brainer, isn't it? He's a wonderful player. But I just don't think you're going to get him playing in the way that you need him to play, as often as you need him to play, staying fit, for it to justify whatever monster transfer fee it would be to get him out of Spurs. It's not going to happen, is it? Yeah, I was going to say, there's a fair few. What would you pay for him, Key? I think given his injury record, as you said, I think we've got to look at it and take that into account. I think any more than sort of 60 to 70 feels expensive, feels too pricey. But I think if you paid 60 million for Van der Ven, or maybe 65, I think you'd look at it and say, okay, well, if he stays fit, you maybe got one of the best centre-backs around. We know he's super quick. We know that he can defend. The recovery pace is a bit of a cheat code. Liverpool like centre-backs like that. He's got experience in the Prem, but honestly, there doesn't really feel like a centre-back around that isn't a gamble in some ways. Like, there was a time where you'd look at, like, Virgil van Dijk for me. When you looked at Virgil van Dijk, it didn't really matter what Southampton were charging. He was always going to be a bargain. Always. Oh, Bologna Celtic goal. There you go. That was the Rio Hatate one. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. It just does not matter at all what price you're charging for Van Dijk. It's worth it. There's no centre-backs around that feel like that at the minute. Like, none of them. The young players who maybe have got massive potential, they still come with a bit of a, I don't know, just a bit of a catch, I guess. Like Luke Caber at Leipzig, very well thought of. Liverpool have been linked to him for ages, but they're going to demand massive money for him, and I don't blame them. You know, City. How much did City pay for Gvardiol in the end? Was it 100 million City paid for Gvardiol? £90 million, yeah. 90 million quid, or 77 plus add-ons, which could take it up to 90. 90 million for Gvardiol, it's a lot, that. It's an awful lot. Roshant, I would go all out for a centre-back from Barca. Why? I wouldn't. The players Liverpool need to look at, like we've been linked with Ordonez, we've been linked with Diamand at Palace, Diamand at Sporting, who was also being linked with Palace. Obviously Scalvini, who Newcastle were looking at for a while, he's at Atalanta. You know, all these young, talented young centre-backs, there's not one that I look at and think, absolutely bang on the money. Yeah, we'll pay whatever it's worth for them. Pay whatever they want. Reggie, I think Saliba's worth all the money in the world. Saliba probably is, but you know, how much would Arsenal want to sell Saliba? There's no money that justifies that sale, is there? Right now, unless he's like really pushing for a departure, there's no money that sells that you're selling for in the world. None. We're back off for the second half here in Istanbul. Andy, how the hell did Arsenal get Mosquera for 13 million? I mean, he's a good player, but I don't look at Mosquera and think he's wonderful. I look at a Mosquera and think he's done well when he's come in, but yeah, I'm not certain he's all that. I'd sell Saliba for 5 back-to-back Prem titles. Roshan, think about it, Key. Only team that plays similar to Liverpool is Barca. A centre-back from Barca makes sense to me. Well, yeah, but then you're signing players based on a system that they play. That's not something Liverpool ever do. You've got to sign them based on their attributes, their recovery speed, their ability to adapt to the Premier League. So what's the physical attributes like? I don't know. I don't look at any of them Barca centre-backs and think, unless maybe Pau Cubarsi's a very talented young player, but even for him, again, how much are you charging for Pau Cubarsi? Would he leave Arsenal for Liverpool? No. I don't think any Arsenal player leaves Arsenal for Liverpool. I don't think any Liverpool player leaves Liverpool for Arsenal. He's only leaving us for Real Madrid, and it's coming 2-3 years tops. Free Fatima says 3-2 to Fenerbahçe. We'll see. As it stands, Ederson's down, getting some treatment. Andy, if Saliba leaves Arsenal, I can't see him going anywhere other than Spain or back home to PSG. Yeah, probably. He's a very talented centre-back, yeah. But there's just not that many about. Kouliarakis is a player I like at Wolfsburg. He's a good player. But there's just not that many. Like, even the ones who I really do quite like, the cost just it massively outstrips what their potential might be. Like Murillo. How good is Murillo? Murillo's unbelievable at Forest, but they want 100 million quid for him. There's always Botman, Key. No chance. Botman, wouldn't have Botman. Would not have Botman. Honestly, the best value for money centre-back for Liverpool in the whole... Nathan Collins. I've said it repeatedly. I've been laughed at. I don't care. Genuinely, the best centre-back value for money Liverpool could buy is Nathan Collins at Brentford. Go and pay 40 million quid for him. You'll get him, and he's brilliant. He does exactly what we need. Go and get Nathan Collins from Brentford. That's a Liverpool signing. That is a very Liverpool signing. He'd slot in perfectly. Charmy, the boy from Inter, I forget his name. Yeah, Bastoni. See, Bastoni as well. Yeah, Bastoni's also fine. I look at Bastoni and think, yeah, world-class, top quality, but how much? How much? If it's any more than 80 million, it's daylight robbery. He's a wonderful centre-back, Bastoni. But, yeah, I don't know. Again, he's getting on. He's not a young man anymore. He's 27. Not only is he 27, he's not necessarily brilliant in terms of availability either. Now, he did well last year, but the season before, he's only 20, 26, 27 games a season. If you're missing 10 league games a season, not paying 80 million plus for you at 27 years of age. That's a red flag. That is a red flag. Mate, I'm telling you laugh at Nathan Collins. I'm telling you. Nathan Collins is brilliant. He's absolutely fantastic. Reggie says you can't complain about cost after what you lot dropped on Wirtz and Isak. The market's gone nuts. But hang on. Isak is value for money. At 120 million quid, Isak is absolutely value for money. 100 million quid for Wirtz is absolutely value for money. He's 22. I don't think anyone would have... If you asked last summer, who are the top 5 strikers in Europe right now, everyone would have said Isak's in there. So 120 million for an Alexander Isak, I think is absolutely value for money. He's not looked at it so far because he's broke his leg and he's been unfit all season. But yeah, I think Alexander Isak, if he's fit, which he will be, we'll get him a full pre-season. I think he'll be better next season. Alexander Isak is absolute value for money. Florian Wirtz, again, 100 million. You're not getting the better number 10 for 100 million at 22 years of age. Doesn't exist. Bastoni is 60 mil, I think. Choc Chart, how's it going, Choc Chart? Good to see you. Andy says, hands off, I'll take Bastoni at Arsenal. Villa are in the box, pulled back, must be. Oh, what a block again. Oh my God. Honestly, do you know what? This Fenerbahçe defence, I've got to give them massive credit. They have been absolutely out of this world tonight defensively. They're then again here, Villa. Absolutely top quality. Skriniar and Osterwald. How old's he? Osterwald. Jaden Osterwald. Do you know what? He's been brilliant tonight, Jaden Osterwald. Like him a lot. Everything I've seen from him tonight, he's been really good. This was Skriniar, admittedly, but... Oh, was it? Yeah, Skriniar with the block this time. But Skriniar and Osterwald have been fantastic at the back. Roshan's biggest profit is Chiesa for 4 million. Profit? Biggest profit is Chiesa for 4 million. Where's 4 million come from? Andy, United looking at 2 midfielders for the summer transfer window. They need more than that. Here we go. Villa down the left-hand side with Luca Dean. Played in. Fenerbahçe clear it away. Yet again, good defending. Every Prem team pays an extra 30% because clubs know we have the money. That 60 million would become 80 to 90 very quick. Hey, Creed. How's it going, mate? How you doing? Is that another yellow card? We'll take that, sir. Let's get another yellow card going. I need a Fenerbahçe goal. Yeah, Luca Dean booked. Told you cards would be fine. Cards will be absolutely fine. Where am I up to? Not that one. Sorry. That one. Right. John Duran shot on target. He's still on the pitch. He's not yet had a shot on target. So I need a John Duran shot on target. Ederson 2+ saves. I'm not a million miles away from that. Both teams to score. And I need some corners. I'm doing well. How's the game been? It's been okay, yeah. Been alright. The game's been alright. It's not been particularly enthralling, maybe. Since the Villa goal, it's been a little bit flat. Good play down the left-hand side. Really good play. Good ball in as well. It's going to go out for a throw-in. Unlucky. Yeah, it's been a little bit flat second half. But Fenerbahçe really, really need a result here tonight. At the very least, they need a point. With a win, Aston Villa are assured of going through as group stage winners. Or rather, group stage top 8. They're as a minimum through to the final 16. That's a foul, ref. Come on. Roshanth, would you take Nordi Mukiele from Sunderland? Sunderland defence is solid this season. I wouldn't mind it. Again, it depends on a price situation. I think Liverpool are looking for bargains at the minute. Liverpool need to go and get like a Gini Wijnaldum. Do you know what? Gini Wijnaldum, 25 million. Newcastle had just been relegated. We went and took him, and he was perfect. James Milner, free from Manchester City. We need to go make a couple of them type of signings. And, I look at the teams that might go down, and if it is West Ham, I think Jared Bowen is a perfect example of that. Go and get Jared Bowen. Do you know who else I'd take from West Ham, honestly? Every time I've watched West Ham, I really, really like the look of Matheus Fernandes. I like him a lot. I think he's fantastic. Anderson Talisca's coming on for Fenerbahçe. Gilabos, Eket Sangartha. How's it going, mate? Andy, I wanted him at Everton. Who, Bowen or Matheus Fernandes? Fernandes is brilliant. Honestly, he's absolute top quality. Every time I've watched him, I think he's different class. I think of Wolves as well. There's players at Wolves that I do rate. Lucky. Gomez, I think in the midfield area, I think Gomez is very good. Obviously Jorgen Strand Larsen might end up at Palace. We don't know what happens to him. Far post, Aston Villa headed back. Mings couldn't quite get it under control. And Fred gets it pumped up the pitch. Here's John Duran. Here we go. Big chance now for Fenerbahçe down the right-hand side. Talisca's in the middle. Have a go, John Duran. Don't know why I'm full naming him every time. But I need John Duran to score. Or at least get a shot on target. Do you think Everton have got an outside chance of Europe next year, Andy? Could you see Everton in the Europa League or the Conference League next year? Obviously, no Jack Grealish now. That takes a bit of a dent. Andy Robertson, 8 million. Yeah, that's a fantastic shout, Sarah. Yeah, Andy Robertson was another one. Basically got him for Kevin Stewart, didn't we? We sold Kevin Stewart to Hull for 8 million quid. And they gave us Andy Robertson for 8 million quid. Reggie, I feel like it's gone under the radar a bit because City are rubbish at the minute, but them signing Semenyo and Gay, especially in January, is absolutely absurd. Absurd in what sense? In the sense of like it's impressive. I think 300 grand a week for Mark Gay. I'm not surprised that he went there. From everything the Athletic were saying, I genuinely think they've just thrown money at him. Because from everything the Athletic was saying, literally 2 weeks ago, even a week ago, the Athletic was saying Mark Gay has told Manchester City that he's not going anywhere until the summer, and his favoured move is Liverpool. That was out of the Athletic. That's about as reliable as it gets. And then within a few days, that had all changed. 300 grand a week was on the table, and it's not really a surprise that he ends up at Man City. Wanderers, hope you're well, Key. Have you seen Forest lineup? There's a lot of change. I haven't seen the Forest lineup yet. No, I was waiting to see the Forest lineup. Excuse me. Before I put on the odds. Talisca! Oh, what a save. And he's onside as well. Talisca really should score and make it 1-1. This game's getting a bit stretched now. Here's Ollie Watkins. Goal Bologna 2-1 now. Celtic still 2-1 in front, but have a man less. Hudson-Odoi on the bench, looking forward to the game. Well, yeah, we'll be doing the Braga versus Nottingham Forest game straight after this one. Braga finished 4th in the Portuguese Liga last year, the Primeira Liga. They're currently 5th, hoping to improve upon that, but they've got Gil Vicente just in front of them. Gil Vicente having an unbelievable season in the Primeira Liga. Andy, I don't see us qualifying for Europe. We'll finish 8th, 9th or 10th. And are you Moyes in or Moyes out? End of the season, I mean. Is there a world where you'd be content to see Moyes kind of golden handshake and off you go? You go and get maybe a new manager, Ruben Amorim or something like that. Andy, lots of chat on channels. Alvarez from Atletico to Arsenal. Alvarez. Julian Alvarez to Arsenal. How's that going to happen? That can't happen. You've got Havertz, Jesus and Gyökeres. What the pissing hell are you going to do with Julian Alvarez? That's not happening. That's not happening. Absurd in every sense. Every sense financially and talent-wise. Well, yeah, financially, yes. I think talent-wise, it remains to be seen just how much of an impact it will have on City. Because, you know, I still look at that City defence and think Mark Gay alone does not really do an awful lot to that. He's a talented player, but he's not on his own. He isn't doing much. Right, Villa now, counter-attack. They've got 3-on-3 here if they can get this right. It's a great run down the left-hand side. In the box, claim for the penalty. It's going to be a corner. Skriniar puts the ball behind. Ollie Watkins screaming for the penalty. Let's see. Nah, that's just a corner. That's fine. What does that mean now in terms of corners? 4. Oh, we're still only on 4. I need another 5 corners. Andy says I'd give Moyes next season as manager. After that, I'd move him on. And Chimey says Amorim playing 3-4-3 at Everton is something I'd pay to watch every weekend. Villa, shot from the edge of the box. Strike! Off the post! Oh, it was an absolute pearler. Edge of the box. Who was it who had that strike? Was it Sancho? Who was it who pinged that? Ball comes out from the corner kick to the edge of the box. Right-footed. Absolutely fabulous strike. Hits the base of the post and away. And Fenerbahçe live to fight another day. What are we saying? Sorry. Andy says, Key, is this the last season Salah should be at Liverpool? I think it is. Yeah, I think it will be. Oh, what a run. That's a foul, ref. How are you not giving that as a foul? That is crazy. Actor Koglu does well there, but great defending. Yeah, for me, I think he should be going. I think he probably will end up going. I can't see a world where Liverpool are happy to keep paying him 400k a week for what he's serving up at the minute. Villa, strike, good save, very good save from Ederson, and that's another save. That's me, surely that's me done now for saves. I just need corners. I need corners and one more card, plus a Fenerbahçe goal would be lovely. Duran... There's your saves. Yep, there's the saves. Andy says I would want the Bournemouth manager to replace Moyes. Andoni Iraola to Everton. Do you think he'd go to Everton? Villa, must be offside, that. Must be offside. Surely it's offside. I think it is. That one's going to be offside. They're celebrating the goal. I think it's tight. They're going to check it. They've given the goal as 2-0 Villa, but there's going to be a check. I think it is offside. I'm almost certain it's offside. Morgie, do you know FC Groningen from the Eredivisie? Of course, yeah, absolutely. Luis Suarez's old team. Yeah, it's comfortably offside there. That one's going to get ruled out for Aston Villa. It's still only 1-0. It's the scoreboard over this way. Scoreboard currently says 2, but it's definitely going to be 1-0 in a second. It's going to be ruled out, that one. Yeah, so, right, so I've got me saves. I think draw or Villa's fine. Ollie Watkins has had his shot on target. I need a John Duran shot, a card, and 5 corners. There you go. Palace are looking at him too. Andoni Areola. Again, if you're Andoni Areola, are you really moving from Bournemouth, where you've got everything set up for you, where you're the king of the castle and you're dominating every decision? And why on earth would you leave that for, with the greatest of respect, Palace or Everton? I think if you're going to leave Bournemouth, you're leaving it for something really, really special. You're leaving it for somewhere where, maybe a Chelsea or a Real Madrid or somewhere like that. Fenerbahce are in here. Big chance. Good save, but not quite. He's definitely onside. Here's Talisca. Fred. Talisca. Strike. Too easy yet again. Far too easy. These corners are going to let you down. I think so. Yeah, I agree. I think the corners are going to be the one. Actor Koglu. Another easy strike, really, from Talisca. Five corners in the next 25 minutes. Real Betis are getting beat. Oh, that's shocking. Come on, we need some quick corners in succession. Talisca. Garbage. Every time he's picked the ball up at the minute, he's just had a shot from... Look at that, 3 attempts on target. All he's doing is shooting. As soon as he picks the ball up, just have a go. Okay, the Aston Villa are about to bring on what it looks like to be maybe their sub-goalkeeper. Bezo may not be able to continue. There's a potential for Aston Villa to need to bring on their sub-goalkeeper. I think it's going to be... is it young Josh Wright? James Wright, sorry. James Wright coming on potentially. James Wright, who has been at Union in Spain for some time. Morgie says, can you ask me a soccer question and I will answer it? Yeah. Who has which Turkish player has the 5th most appearances in Premier League history for a Turk? On a Permo, this is a tense game. Celtic, Bologna all over 10-man Celtic. Arsenal forever. Sorry for being late, Keith. It's Arteta out. Change my name. How's the game been so far? It's been alright, mate, yeah. It's been okay. 1-0 to Aston Villa. Fenerbahce pushing to try and get an equaliser. Onana's about to come on, as is Martin. Couple of changes afoot for Villa here. But 70 minutes on the clock. Yeah. We're just enjoying the last 20 minutes to see whether or not Villa can hang on, get that 3 points. Because if Villa do, then they're through. They're guaranteed in the top 8. And that final group game that they've got, which is at home to Salzburg, who are already eliminated, by the way. If it's Salzburg... they're going to be, they'll just rest a load of players, Villa. So they'll finish in the top 8 with a game to spare and they don't even need to play their first team in it. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like button, Brady says, what do you think the Rangers score will be tonight, Key? I'm going 3-1. Never see the team we're playing play before. Are they good? Ludogorets. Funnily enough, I've seen them play Liverpool at Anfield. That was in 2015. I went to watch that one, and they went in front against us. They took the lead against us at Anfield, and we ended up coming back to win 2-1 in the last minute. Steven Gerrard penalty. Balotelli, I think, scored the equaliser, and then we got a penalty in the last minute, and it was a clear penalty. And Balotelli was having an argument with Steven Gerrard on the penalty spot to like say, I want to take it, I want to take it. And Gerrard was like, yeah, listen, mate, you ain't taking it. So Gerrard took it off him and he was raging, but we won the game. So, swings and roundabouts. Andy says, here's one for you. Don't cheat. Name the 5 clubs who've won the title 3 times in a row. Name change from Arteta out. Hey, it's got to be done. Right. Is it a corner? Is it another corner? We'll take a corner here. Is it actually a corner? Yeah, corner kick. We'll take that. Another corner. Ooh. Well done, Villa. Villa get it away. It's going to go out for a throw-in. Here's Fred. A corner. Oh, yeah. 5 is all we've had so far. We need another 4. Here's Fred. Another corner. Yay! We're getting more corners. It's happening. It's happening. I'm telling you, there's only 3 we need. 3 corners and a Fenerbahce goal, please. Bologna 2, Celtic 2. Equalisers coming. There you go. Andy, time's up. Man United, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, and the one that gets people. Huddersfield Town. Great question, that. Ishmael has gone off. Alvarez has come on. Edson Alvarez, formerly of West Ham, has come in. Fenerbahce corner. Ball over to the far post. Talisca wins it back. Does well. Villa on the counter-attack, maybe. Again, doing very well here. Good run. Good tackle. Arsenal forever. Gave him a lot of time, pal. What do we feel about the United game this weekend, Arsenal forever? What are you thinking about that one? Well done there, John Durant. Josh, I like Keelad. Are you going to be wearing your Arsenal shirt for Sunday? You can't want them lot to beat us, can you? I don't care who wins on Sunday, mate. I feel like I can celebrate whoever wins. I'm just going to enjoy the game on Sunday. I'm looking forward to Sunday. If United win, then Arsenal have dropped points. So get in. If Arsenal win, then United have been snotted. So brilliant, great. If it's a draw, then they've both dropped points. So I'd quite like a draw. I'm rooting for a draw, maybe with 3 sendings off each. Couple of knocks each. It keeps a couple of key players out injured just for a couple of weeks. Nothing serious, just a couple of bit of swelling or something like that. But other than that, no, I'm just going to enjoy the game. I can't really lose on that one. Someone's going to drop points, aren't they? So that's fine. Arsenal 2, United 2. I'll take that now. Gladly. With pleasure. Garcia off for Gesand. Or Garcia and Gesand coming on with Matson, I think. Long throw into the box. Villa head it away. Choc Chart says Arsenal 3-0. Andy says if United win, they're proper in competition with Liverpool for 4th. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. Strike. Good strike again. It should be 1-1. Is it going to be? It is. It is. It's 1-1. It's Aktürkoğlu. Fenerbahçe have equalised. Oh, it's an absolutely unbelievable finish, this actually, The ball gets played in. It's a great touch from John Duran. Aktürkoğlu has the shot. It's parried out by Bezo. And on the rebound, it comes at him so quick. And he adjusts his body and manages to just tap it in, side-footed. But it's not an easy finish, this. The goalkeeper's down, he's prone, he's on the floor. This is not an easy finish at all. I think it's going to be offside, though. It is offside. It's going to be ruled out. It's going to be ruled out. It's offside. As the ball came in, John Duran is offside. So Aktakoglu's goal is not going to count. There you go. Ruled out. Arsenal forever, I don't mind. United, especially at home. I really am not fearing Mbuemo because of Raya. And Andy, that's what happens when you don't take your chances, Villa. I'm telling you, it's going to get ruled out, this one. It'll be very quickly chalked off. Very, very quickly chalked off. I don't see this one lasting. Not at all. Villa very lucky there, says the liking trash. I'd agree with that. Very, very lucky. Here we go. VAR, offside. Fenerbahce 1. Villa 1, not anymore. 1-0. Andy Vale says, I don't see United losing. I think they'll build on their impressive derby win from last weekend. Was it all that impressive, though, given just how sort of poorly City played in the follow-up game against Bodo Glimt? Does that not take the shine off United's performance a little bit? Does that not take the shine off what they achieved against Manchester City? For me, it does. I do. I think City were probably there for the taking. And the fact that Bodo Glimt absolutely battered them a few days later probably tells you an awful lot. I think United played quite well, don't get me wrong, but it's not the same City side. Andy, that was never offside. Should have been a corner. Oh, give him a booking. Right, there you go. There's another yellow card. I'm happy. Right, I've got my yellow cards now. I need corners and a John Duran shot on target as well as a goal. Ideally, John Duran scores the equaliser. If John Duran scores the equaliser and I get 3 more corners, we're done. Oh, good ball out to the right-hand side. Ball stood up. Too easy. It's another corner, is it? Is it? Another corner? Is that going to count as another corner? Surely. Surely that's another corner. No. Bastard. Arsenal forever says, I think Arsenal 2-1 against Man United. And Andy says, make Man City run back towards their own goal and they'll fall apart. Not good on the old back foot, are they? No. That should have been a corner. How was that not given as a corner? Lad's desperate for corners here. Aktakoglu does well. He's a great player in, by the way. The number 9 for Fenerbahce. Top quality. He's someone who could adapt to the Prem, no problem. Another yellow card. I told you, cards are plenty in this one. That's the 5th one of the game now. Silly, silly yellow card from Mert Mulder. Dragging Buendia back. That's Garcia, sorry. Dragging Garcia back. Mert Mulder now on a yellow card as well for Fenerbahce. Card-happy referees. And Domenico Tedesco is not a happy boy. Not very happy at all. Here's Fred. Played forward into Duran. Poor from Duran. Does not hold the ball up anywhere near as well as he should. John Duran's gone down here, holding his face. What is the problem, mate? Get up. Asensio does well. Good tackle. John Duran's still down, and honestly, the players are just playing around him. They're not even going to stop it. Ball into the box. Get up. Oh, my God. As if his teammates haven't stopped him. And now Tielemans... Do you know what, Matt? The weird thing is both sets of players are complaining here. Oh, no. John Duran, honestly, that is ridiculous. He's gone down, holding his face there. Oh, that's shocking. That's ridiculous. You don't want to see players doing that. Prince Rupert, is Duran on loan to Fenerbahce? He is, yeah. He's on loan from Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, which he hasn't really settled in Saudi. So, yeah, he's got to stay out of the UK for maybe another 12 months before he can come back. If he does want to come back to the Premier League, he's got to stay out for another 12 months. Otherwise, he'd have to pay somewhere close to 50% tax on his Saudi earnings, which would be somewhere in the region of about 4 million quid based off what he's earned. Andy says, Aston Villa wins the Europa League, do you reckon? Every chance. You can't really bet against the side managed by Unai Emery, can you? And Reggie says, Porto losing 1-0 to 10-man Victoria Plitzen. Wow. There you go. Right, tell me that's not him going off. That's not him being subbed off, is it? John Duran? No, he's coming back on. Good. I need a John Duran. Need a John Duran effort here. Soft boy, says Sarah. It was very soft. Here he is coming back on the pitch. Don't like to see that. Want to see players stepping up, being tough. Not going down like that. Don't forget, if you're new around here, a couple of things for me, because we're going over to full time in this one. We're going to be watching Braga against Nottingham Forest. So if you're new around here, a couple of things for me. Hit the like button on this video. Second of all, hit the subscribe button. I will be putting in the link to Braga against Nottingham Forest in the chat before we move over. So if you want to join us, you can come over and watch that with us as well. Braga v Forest. Sarah says he's broken his eyelash, apparently. Yeah, fractured eyelash. Throw in to Fenerbahce. Does he give a free kick? Right, Asensio played it in. Betis losing, Porto losing, Fenerbahce losing, Bologna drawing. All good results for Forest. Come on, lads, get the job done tonight with 3 points. We desperately... I need Betis to step it up. I've got Betis or draw. Can't believe Betis are throwing it away against PAOK Salonika. Could do with a Betis equaliser. Here's Fred back to... Skriniar. Oosterwolde. Good ball forward. Aktakoglu can't quite get to it and Talisca comes across. Freiburg 1, Maccabi Tel Aviv 0. Here's Fred. At this point, it's going to have to be a John Duran header from a corner. That's the only way, really, isn't it? Let's be honest. Here's Fred into Talisca. Skriniar. Why is he moving back so deep? Villa are going to kill this off here. It's a great chase here down the right-hand side. Good defending. Great defending. Do you think Forest will win tonight? I think so, yes. I think they'll beat Braga. Braga aren't a particularly strong side in Europe. I mean, they're fourth in the Portuguese league at the minute. They're not particularly great domestically, but in Europe they've been a bit up and down, I would say. And that's not just this season. They're managed by Carlos Vicens, Spanish player. Ex-Spanish player, Spanish manager. Yeah, fourth last season, currently fifth in the Primera. Here we go. Here's John Duran down the right-hand side. Going to take a corner as well. Yes, boy. Oh, here we go. We only need 2 left. Here it comes. Let's get another quick corner off this now. John Duran shot on target. We're there, aren't we? It's coming. I'm telling you. We're gonna sneak a late win here on the bet. Just in case anyone's watching, this is me bet here. Look at this. Look at this. I'm up basically everything apart from we're on 7. That's the 7th corner. So I need 2 more corners after this one. Header. Villa get it away. Yeah, so I need another 2 corners in the last 5 minutes plus added time. A John Duran shot on target and a Fenerbahçe equaliser. Stupidly went for both teams. Did I go both teams to score? Yeah, both teams to score. Fuck. And I'll be doing my free £5 bet with Midnight again. If you want to see my free £5 bet with Midnight and you want to get yours, make sure you click the link in the description or the link in the chat. I'll be doing my free £5 bet with Midnight just before the Braga against Villa game. So I need to have a look at the lineups and do that. So as soon as this game finishes, we'll be jumping straight over to the Aston Villa game. The Aston Villa game. Forest game. Forest. Because I'm watching Villa. Come on, Key. Wake up. Long ball forward. Here's Talisca. Strike. Another corner. Whoa. It's coming. It's coming. Three-star, have you seen the ground, Key? There's a great big rock face at one end of the ground with no stand, yeah. It's another header. Who was that? Was that John Duran? Was that John Duran with the header? Was it John Duran? Please tell me that was... It was! John Duran shot on target. Right, perfect. Perfect. So I now need, literally, 1 corner and a Fenerbahçe goal. It's coming. It's coming. A corner and a Fenerbahçe goal, please. Brother. Oh, PAOK Salonika 2, Betis 0. There's my other bet down. Josh almost happened. It's coming. I'm telling you. I need your help to pick the next one though. Because Braga against Forest. Let's have a look at the Braga Forest lineup. So Forest have gone. Sells in goal. Aina, Savona, Marato, Milenkovic, and Doy, McAtee, Douglas Luiz, Yates, and Bakwa, and Gibbs White. No centre forward for Forest. Gibbs White's basically playing as an auxiliary centre forward. I don't like that. Braga have got Hornicek, Gomez, Lagerbielke, Niakate, Rodriguez, Grilic, Gorby, Are and B, Martinez, Navarro, and Horta. Ricardo Horta's probably the one to watch for Braga, so I might maybe back Ricardo Horta shot on target. Maybe Horta, Gibbs White shot on target. What do we think? Is that another corner? No. I'm getting too excited over corners. Alex, how's it going? How are things? Key being busy working. Hope you're okay. Great result last night for the Reds. More like it. Kirk is outstanding. Yeah, it was fantastic. Andy says Douglas Luiz to Chelsea. They're keen on him. I'm glad someone is. I don't think these Forest fans are very keen on him, to be honest. Here we go. Villa, free kick on the right-hand side. Tielemans is going to whip it in. Basically a corner. Near post. Now that is going to be a corner. And we've checked off the corners now. Corners are checked off. All I need is a Fenerbahçe equaliser at this point. How much added time are we getting, ref? Give us a solid 9 minutes of added time for a Fenerbahçe equaliser. Oh, keeper. Jesus Christ, what is Ederson doing? What is he doing there? Talk about a brain fart. That is dreadful. That's so poor from your keeper. From a top quality keeper as well. How many minutes, ref? How many minutes? 7. 7's enough. 7 is enough. I think Fenerbahçe might pinch an equaliser late on here. Villa standing up to the far post. Talisca heads it away. Fred. Skriniar. It's head tennis here now. Is Onana. Garcia does very well there. Garcia stands it up. Good ball. Headed away by Skriniar. And Actor Koglu even better. That's fantastic. Oh, terrible. John Duran's got nothing left in him. He's got nothing left in him, the lad. Look at that. Dreadful. He is lazy, isn't he? I've not seen anything of him tonight where he's put himself about. He's such a talented player as well. It's so weird, John Duran, because you can see the ability there, but he's definitely not got it going on upstairs. Okay, another change for Villa. Tielemans coming off. And who is it who's coming on here? Is it? Oh, hey! Unai Emery! Screaming. Hemmings is coming on. Unai Emery and Tielemans very nearly coming to blows there on the touchline. Did you see that? He absolutely raged at him. Tielemans wasn't happy at being brought off the pitch. And, yeah, Unai Emery was absolutely furious at his reaction and let him know about it as well. Crazy. Fenerbahçe in. Actor Koglu hits it wide. Poor that. Very poor. Andy says, imagine if he left for United, Emery. Do you think he would? I don't think he would. I think he's not docile enough for United. I think they're looking for someone who's a bit more meek and a bit more sort of subordinate, I guess. Who will accept orders, who will do as they're told. Luis is too old for Chelsea. Yeah, I think so too, sir. I have to agree with that. That's a foul. That's a foul from Garcia. So yes sir, no sir, and Andy says he would if they wanted him. I think he would go there, but it would have to be with some very clear caveats, wouldn't it? Like, I need full say in what's happening. I'm a manager, I'm not a coach. Good ball in. Villa just about, they don't even get it away properly. It's head tennis around the edge of the box here. Oh, Villa done really well here. Onana driving forward. Now Villa have got a massive chance here. They've got 4-on-2 if they get this right. Oh, and they mess it up and Fred wins it back. Can I have Dean back, please? Could do with a full-back, couldn't they, Everton? That's a foul. That's a foul and a yellow card, surely. Yellow card for Villa. 3 minutes left to go. Actor Koglu took out by Bohada. PAOK 2, Betis 0, Malmo 0, Red Star 1, Feyenoord 3, Sturm Graz 0. Alexander Isak has returned to individual training today, really? Wow. I did not see that coming. Right, free kick for Fenerbahçe. Terrible. Bezo punches it away and it's going to be a free kick for the foul on him. Two minutes left to go for Villa to hang on. Probably not enough time, really, for the Fenerbahçe equaliser, sadly. And that's going to be the thing. One leg of the bet letting me down again. Oh, I've been so unlucky. So unlucky. It's going to be another foul and maybe another yellow card. No, Martin brought which Sarah says, what witch doctor have Liverpool signed? Dino back to us 100% would take him back. Have you heard about Lukaku? Have you heard about the Lukaku back to Everton rumours today? Apparently that's doing the rounds. Yeah, Napoli are really desperate to get rid of him. And there's offers of 20 million quid will get him, basically. Lukaku back to Everton. Continue the fairy tale. He's an absolute lump now, isn't he? He's not the player that he was, that you had back in the day. It would be a silly decision for Everton to sign him for 20 million quid. He's a very David Moyes type signing, though, I'll say that. That's exactly the type of signing that Moyes wants. Like 30, 31, bit of experience. Not like wet behind the ears, can come in and adapt and play quickly. Last 30 seconds. Bezo's got the ball in his hands and he's wasting a bit of time. Punts it long. Fenerbahçe have got to get the ball and get it quick if they're going to get anything out of this one. Here's Villa. Chance to make it 2-0. Right, last kick of the game, really, this. Fenerbahçe have got to punt this long. They've got to punt it long to get any real chance here. Full time, it's Bologna 2-2 with Celtic. That's full time here as well, and it's Fenerbahçe 0, Villa 1. Villa are through. I have put the link in the chat if you want to come over and join me for Braga against Nottingham Forest. We're going to be doing that straight away. So if you want to join me, please do so. Click the link in the chat. Before you go, just before you go, a couple of things. Make sure you've hit the like button on this live. Second of all, make sure you've subscribed. I'm live every single day watching games of football. Right now, we are watching Braga against Forest. Tomorrow, we're doing Inter Milan against Pisa. And then over the weekend, we're doing three massive games on Saturday night. Starting with West Ham and Sunderland, followed by Bournemouth against Liverpool. Then Villarreal against Real Madrid in La Liga. Sunday, we're doing 3 more big games. Aston Villa with a trip to Newcastle, followed by Arsenal, Man United, and then ending the night with Roma AC Milan in Serie A. So some big games this weekend, and we're going to be watching them all on Premier League Dad. Hopefully you join me for some, all of them, whatever, but make sure you've hit the like button and subscribed, and I'll see you all very soon. Hopefully for the Braga Forest game, which is starting. I'll be live over there in literally 5 minutes. See you soon.